Remember, if you like these videos, game theory, rant videos, like, sub, silly comment if you want to support the channel. It helps. So this isn't really a Street Fighter video, but Street Fighter made me think about this topic again. And I looked on my channel, and I guess the last time I talked about this, maybe more specifically, you know, homing dashing and all this kind of stuff. It was actually a year and a half ago, you know. Talked about this stuff when the game was coming out, blah, blah, blah. All this kind of shit. But I guess I haven't talked about this in a year and a half. And I was thinking about this because Street Fighter V was, you know, recently updated again, right? And Street Fighter V is almost endearing. Street Fighter V's OCD, the autism and OCD-ness of Street Fighter V is almost endearing at this point. You see a lot of people, when they talk about this game, the OCD autism factor of Street Fighter V. And this isn't necessarily that I hate Street Fighter V. I can appreciate a lot of things in Street Fighter V, actually. But, you know, games need to progress. There is new ideas in it, but to an extent. But when you see people talk about Street Fighter V and you see these changes and everything like that, and people talk about the game so matter-of-factly, they're like, well, Capcom changed this because they know this is not how the game is supposed to work. Like they just literally speak for Capcom. You know, oh, every character has a setup here that they knock you down, and there's this specific normal that they have that if you have a 3-frame this, if you have 4-frame this, blah, 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 that's what you do there. It's the guessing game. Oh, I need to be plus here exactly. This move was changed in this patch because this is not how the game is supposed to work. They're telling you how the developers made the game. It's so obvious, I guess, at this point. They just are putting the words in developers' mouth. Nope, this is not how this move is supposed to work. Fix it. Excuse me, sorry, I just ate dinner. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? The game is so pre-planned and pre-contrived to such a autistic and OCD scale that you have these patches, again, where people they just blatantly tell you, like it's a matter of fact, like, oh, that move needs to be changed because this is not how this game works. This has to be plus this has to be minus this amount of exact frames. It's almost endearing in a way. And in a way, it's almost like, well, I guess you got to keep updating a game like this when you're so steadfast in the direction of this game that this is how the game must be played. You know, so pre-contrived and pre-planned. And at the same time as well, you got to keep updating a game like this, I guess, because, sorry, excuse me again. You know what I mean? If a game is so pre-contrived and pre-planned, how the fuck is anything ever going to be new when the cliff notes are there for you every time, right? So I guess you got to keep updating. A little bit you play, it's like, well, that's all there is. Nothing new. Let me wait another 5, 6 months, whatever it is, 3 months to the next patch because the game's figured out. You know, quotation marks figured out, you know, blah, blah, blah. That's how the game works. So I guess we got to keep updating the game because there's never going to be anything new in a game that is that pre-planned and pre-contrived, you know, to an extent. But so it made me think about homing dash again in Dragon Ball FighterZ. And I always talk about Dragon Ball FighterZ. You know, homing dash is such a hot topic. Well, I guess if the game was hot, I guess, but if the game is a hot topic, I guess maybe if you care about the game. People complain about cursed homing dashes, super dashes, which is ridiculous because, I don't know, is it called homing dash? It says chase there. Is it homing dash? Maybe it's chase. Chase credit cards, great rewards. Get them. You know, but I don't know if it's chase, but a chase dash, just homing dash, blah, 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 fuck my titty dash, whatever it is. But I don't even think, you know, a cursed homing dash, the move is called homing dash. It's supposed to home in on you. That is the purpose of the move. And I talk about correlation doesn't equal causation. Intellectual is another word I've been using because I saw that in Jurassic Park again. The problem with homing dash is that it's the most versatile thing in the entire game. It's the one thing that is not pre-planned in this game, right? Of course, you know what I mean. Of course, there's frame data in this game. You know what I mean? If I homing dash here, what is punishable in between that is, you know, there's a difference there because of the sun. Of course, there's that shit. You know what I mean? That stuff does exist. But besides that, you know, in a game that is also quite pre-planned, you know what I mean, in terms of what you can do pressure-wise, all this kind of stuff, homing dash is the one most versatile thing in the game, right? You don't know when I'm going to homing dash. When am I going to homing dash? I don't know. Well, are you going to homing dash yet, Clayton? I don't know. Maybe this time. Oh, now I homing dash. You don't have control over when I homing dash, right? Oh, I'm shooting some fireballs here. Shooting some fireballs here. Oh, maybe you just fuck. You know what I mean? It's like you don't know. You don't know. I don't know. Fuck my titties. When's COVID going to end? I don't know. I'm praying to God soon. But the point is, you have a very pre-planned game and all this kind of shit. As I drop the controller, you have a very pre-planned game. And the most versatile thing in the game is homing dash. It's the one math problem that there is not a, of course, again, there's differences here, what you can get here. But homing dash is not a real math problem in the sense of everything else in the game, right? Remember, the Discord says you can't actually do that. Unfucking believable, right? But again, there's such a, desire maybe in the community, or they're trying to spread an agenda, I don't know what it is, that they want games to be very pre-planned, pre-contrived, so you can have the cliff notes before the match. And Super Dash is the most versatile thing in the game. There is no cliff notes for Super Dash, besides, between what you can punish here, blah, blah, blah. But when I can do it is totally up to me. And people don't like when things are not under their control, right? You can't control when I'm going to Super Dash or homing dash or chase bank account, get the credit cards. They're very good, And this isn't even getting into the hypocritical nature of them. I do agree that, the fact that this game has a, what is it called? A training mission where the developers are literally like, our game has such little mix-up that we have to, they show you doing a homing dash mix-up with your assist, whatever it is. It's like, boom, boom. Oh, I forgot what I was doing. What am I doing? Oh, am I going to go high? You know what I mean? Oh, no, I'm on the other side. I don't know. Whatever the fuck you're doing, right? They actually I can't, like I said, I talk shit about that because it's so fucking ridiculous that you literally have a training mode. A game that discourages synergy, but then you have a training mission that shows we want you to use homing dash specifically for mix-up with your assist. Like they're like teaching you, we don't want you to have synergy in this game, but we're going to specifically put in a training mission mode where you have to use an assist while homing dashing because it's the game. But again, correlation doesn't equal causation, and this also gets to a problem that you realize that not only is homing dash a necessary evil of the game, right? Because you don't have block damage, all this. And even if there was block damage, I wouldn't change homing dash per se, right? But, the game does not have quotation marks real block damage, like you would think like a real game. It's piddly in this game, doesn't kill you, blah, blah. You know what I mean? But this game, it's not like it's an air dashing game, but hey, you got characters like Vegito, you know what I mean? Come on, this is pretty goddamn slow, right? Homing dash is a necessary evil of the game. Homing dash is a fucking mix-up per se. People are like, oh, I never get opened up by homing dash. Are you sure? Are you sure you never get opened up by homing dash? I don't watch this game a lot. That's bullshit. And even if it was true that you're not someone that ever gets opened up by homing dash, which I would call probably bullshit, sometimes moves are in a game. It's just the fear that it's there, and you have to keep on your toes. Maybe homing dash, yeah. I mean, I believe you that you're like, oh yeah, damn, he blocked that crazy homing dash, whatever the fuck it was, right? Not saying it hits you all the time, but it is a mix-up that is there. It's a threat that's there. It's a versatile, non-pre-planned, non-contrived threat. But even worse that makes people mad, I think, in this game is every single character, like I've said, has the same versatility. Every character can homing dash, which they should be able to. They should be able to, of course, right? Obviously, it's a fundamental game system, right? But when every character's most versatile thing from a certain perspective is the same thing, it cheapens the feel of the game, doesn't it? Because everyone wants to feel special. You want to feel like, oh, my character feels special, right? I'm doing something different, right? Like blah, 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 whatever the fuck you're doing, right? But then when you get to the game, and this game does, has a lot of fundamental flaws, etc. And this game, of course, at face value, I think pretty much anyone, I think, could admit it is a more basic game from a lot of standpoints. Characters don't always feel as versatile as they supposedly could, which I wasn't even thinking about using that word. It just literally rolled off the tongue. Every character is not as versatile as they potentially could be to show off the beauty of the game. And then you're like, not every character is as versatile, but what is the most versatile, non-pre-planned weapon I have in my arsenal, homing dash, right? Take it with a grain of salt, of course. Like, I'm not saying no character has anything besides that, but, you know, I'm not saying the game is rock, paper, scissors, it's, you know, but really think about that. When you think about correlation doesn't equal causation, intellectual is not seeing the bigger picture of things. And Street Fighter V just made me think about that because it's a game that is so pre-planned and pre-contrived. And then you got a thing like Dragon Ball FighterZ, admittedly, you know, a pretty pre-planned, pre-contrived game. But the one math problem this game does not have, the most versatile thing that every character has, is homing dash. Even if you don't get hit by the cursed homing dash, it's still something that's there. And then what makes it feel worse and cheapens the feel of the game and makes people mad is because every character has this for itself, really. It's actually, again, correlation doesn't equal causation. It puts kind of a black eye on the game when it's like, God damn it. It's like, I can't believe you. How did that guy beat you? How did that guy beat you with his team? And it's like, his team sucked, whatever it was, right? And you're like, oh, well, he hit me with the homing dash, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, really? Oh. Well, what did he do with this character? I got hit by this homing dash, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Hopefully you get what I'm saying. So again, correlation doesn't equal causation. I was just thinking about that because of Street Fighter V and how pre-planned and pre-contrived it is. And I guess I haven't made a video on this in about a year and a half. Anyway, remember, if you like the videos, like, sub, silly comments. If you want, it helps the channel. Suck my titties, the end.